July 14th Common Council. Start with the roll call. So Joanne, if you could please call the roll.
Alder Jim Benesh.
Here.
Alder Kathy Loendorf.
Here.
Alder Stephen Knott.
Here.
Alder Tom Smith.
Here.
Alder Larry Jurassic.
Present.
Alder James Wojcik.
Here.
And the mayor is excused.
Moving on to item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we'll go over the rules of the City of Onalaska Common Council and its subcommittees for harassment-free forum. City Council and subcommittee meetings shall be conducted in a courteous manner. Citizens, council, and committee members shall be allowed to state their positions in an atmosphere free of slander, obscene remarks, or threats of violence. Sufficient warnings may be given by the sergeant at arms or chair at any time during the remarks. And in the event that any individual shall violate the rules of decorum as set forth, such person may then be cut off from comment or debate. Moving on to item number 4, public input. First call for public input. If you wish to provide public input, please stand up to the podium, announce your name and your address. Is it on? Are the microphones on up there?
Is on.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to start by thanking Dan for his timely.
Could you say your name and address first? I'm sorry. We'll start you 3 minutes over. Go ahead.
Donna Calloway. I live at 2211 Gulfview Lane in Onalaska.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Dan for his timely response and for providing an update on the Wellington Greens Park project. It is very well appreciated that he responded so quickly. We are here tonight, my neighbors and I, with a few other questions and concerns that we would like to share. We have 3 questions regarding some recent information that came to us about the possibility of an Indian burial site. The 3 questions are, number 1, how was the possibility of a Native American burial site discovered only after construction had already begun? Second question, since previous work has been completed at this park, why was there no prior indication that this area could be a possible Native American burial site? Question number 3, if this was all farmland that we are living on the Wellington Greens area and the farmer who owned the land was farming all of this land, then why does the city need to halt this project if previously the farmer was using this land and moving the soil? And we know that your project probably is only going to remove the topsoil. So we just were wondering why we can't move forward with that project if just the topsoil would be removed. And maybe that is not the case. As a team, we went out today and have a few safety concerns after the construction people went in. We have noticed several conditions that may pose a safety risk, especially since children frequently use this park and many without direct supervision from adults. The former basketball hoops were removed yesterday, and today they stand with what is called chipboard, very thin boarding that is covering approximately a 3-foot deep hole. There are 3 holes. We are concerned that this is not adequately providing protection. As soon as the chipboard gets wet, it could be very dangerous. The path near the playground has several large cracks and holes that create a tripping hazard. Next concern will be, the question that I have is, will the entire path be resurfaced as a part of this project? Additionally, the wood chips area of the playground have shifted, leaving very deep holes in the surface areas. We would appreciate have them raked and redistributed again to try to prevent any risk for injury. Also, a metal sewer grate that is on the west side of the street appears to be missing, leaving an open hole that could be dangerous for children and pedestrians and animals. All of these photos tonight were submitted to Dan, so you will have those photos. Lastly, could you please let us know where we can
minutes.
view the proposed site rendering and completed project information and the plan layout so we can see how this new path will move forward in our park? Thank you.
It's been 3 minutes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else for public input? Second call, public input. Anyone online? Third and final call for public input. Public input is closed. Thank you very much. Item number 5 is public hearing to consider adoption of a corrected final resolution to vacate and discontinue portions of Westwood Lane, Carefree Drive, Holly Drive, Hilltop Drive, and Overhill Drive located in the city of Onalaska, La Crosse County, Wisconsin. This is Resolution 17-2026, addressed under Public Works Director Report, non-consent agenda item number 9. So at this time, public hearing is open. Is there anyone who would like to speak in support of? Second call for those who would like to speak in support of the vacating the portions of Westwood Lane and et cetera. Third and final call for those who would like to speak in support of. Is there anyone who would like to speak opposed? Second call. Third and final call for those who would like to speak opposed. Public hearing is closed. Next is recommendations for approval under possible action from the following committees, commissions, boards, and officials. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests removal, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and be considered in the order of business in the non-consent agenda. Is there anyone who would like to remove any portions of the consent agenda? I'll entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Lohendorf, seconded by Alder Jurassic. Any discussion? I guess, well, we don't do the individual ones, right? All those in favor?
Can we do this by
Aye.
roll call?
What's that?
Can we do this by roll?
Oh, that's right. You had told me that. I'm sorry. Yeah. So roll call will be taken by Joanne.
Alder Jurassic,
Aye.
Alder Knott,
Aye.
Alder Wojcik,
Aye.
Alder Smith,
Aye.
Alder Benash,
Aye.
Alder Lohendorf.
Motion passes. Consent agenda is approved. Moving on to item number 7, recap of items pulled from the consent agenda. There are no such items. Moving on to number 8 on the non-consent agenda is the Finance Committee with vouchers. Tom.
Thank you, sir. Yes, the following list of monies is expended since the last common council meeting dated June 9th, 2026 for $2,824,850.07. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Smith, seconded by Alder Lohendorf. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 9, Public Works Director Report, starting with Resolution 17-2026. Go ahead, Jared.
Thank you. In your packet tonight, we do have Resolution 17-2026, item number 9 in your agenda. Shown on page 4, this area was already vacated at one point. There was a slight error in the vacation, so you have a new map in front of you tonight. Page 6 shows the map that was vacated originally. Page 7 is the new vacated map. There's a difference of 0.04 acres less that will be vacated. This is basically cleaning up a clerical error in the original document.
I'll make a motion to accept the new map, resolution 17-2026.
I'll second.
Okay, motion to approve by Alder Jurassic, seconded by Alder Smith. Any discussion? Does this need to be a roll?
No.
No. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 10, the city administrator report. Rick?
Thank you. So included in the report in front of you tonight is from the May meeting through today. As you recall, I wasn't able to be in attendance at the June council meeting. So I have included some additional information. Again, I won't read it to you, just go over them briefly. The new phone system went live last week. So around the city hall and other city buildings, we do have a new phone system that is in place. We will be looking at how this can assist us in saving us some money through the use of cell phones. Still looking at what that might look like, so more information to come. Just an update on the fire chief recruitment that has been reposted and will be through July 31st, at which time the Police and Fire Commission will then review applications. The DriftLink, our shared ride program request for proposals, that RFP is out at this point in time, and the deadline date for that is August 5th. I believe the Public Transit Committee meets on August 11th, if I remember correctly, where they will consider the submissions that have come in at that point in time. Fire union negotiations will be starting next week, so just wanted to update you on that. As you all know, we had the city's 175th celebration during Celebrate Onalaska a couple weekends ago. Had some good feedback from individuals in regards to the events that happened. I want to give a shout out to the mayor for her trolley tours and Park and Rec and Omni staff for all of the hard work that they did in making that event happen. There were a lot of people that were involved, but those were some of the key people that make things happen. So I want to thank them for that as well. On June 22nd, Governor Evers visited the city of Onalaska for his pothole patrol visit. That is a program that he does every year where he travels around the state to different communities and fills potholes. And so kudos to the public works staff for getting everything ready and having everything good to go for when the governor did arrive. So that was an event back in June. Update on the Emergency Operations Center exercise and training. As you know, on August 17th, we will be doing an exercise here at City Hall. A tabletop exercise, that is. And so we have continued planning for that and are just putting the final touches. I'll be doing a presentation to council afterwards to let you know how that went, some of the things that we need to continue to do when it comes to the EOC. Several of us attended a 3-day EOC training at UWL. Chief Berg, Chief Southworth, Finance Director Sabrina Steger, and myself attended. It was good information, but I thought that was timely to just mention since we are in the process of going through that training. And then again, the meetings and events that are on there, again, those are from the last 2 months. Yeah, that's everything I have there.
Rick, can I add something?
Yes.
Just Mayor Kim is not here tonight, and so I know if she was, she would want to add a plug for the 175th anthology. So Kim took community submissions to create kind of a magazine time capsule of all the things that our community thinks Onalaska shines at in 2026, different people, places, and moments. And that is going to be published. It's going to the printer this week, but she is hosting a little event on August 2nd at the Dash Center. If you want to come out 1 to 3, I think the program is at 1:30, but there'll be light refreshments and ice cream. And she's going to unveil the Live On a 2026 anthology at that date. And then you can get a copy then. If not, I'm sure we'll have some at City Hall after, but that's August 2nd, that first Sunday in August, 1 to 3 at the Dash Center with the program at 1:30.
Thank you for that reminder.
Rick, you want to continue on with B?
All right, discussion and possible action on implementation of the Baker Tilly compensation study results. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start? Because I know you did the memo for that piece of it.
Thank you. So in your packets tonight, I did write a short memo to explain the cost. That was the task that was set forth with me at the last meeting. I did go and I evaluated all of the individuals who were set to see an increase based on the salary study that was given. In option 1, if we were to implement that effective August 2nd, the cost would be $73.01, of which $5,331.40 would come out of the general fund. That's just the wage piece. I didn't go into crazy detail and add like FICA or WRS, but that is just the wage piece. There'd be minimal costs for FICA and WRS. In regards to the cost of the change in 2027, it would be $19,081.66 before any step increases or COLAs for 2027. Option 2, that option would move individuals who were recognized in the Baker Tilly study. It would put them on the scale based on their years in service or their years in the position. So for example, if someone were to move to a step 10, and let's say they've been with the city of Onalaska for 8 years, but right now they're at the way option 1 would show they'd be a grade 6, then they would move to a grade 8, for example. That's just like one example how that would work. And if we did that based on their years in their position, the cost to implement this on August 2nd of 2026 would be $54,709.87, of which $25,976.12 would come out of the general fund. The cost of doing option 2 for 2027 would be $122,849.20. Option 3, what the Baker Tilly study would do is, let's say right now you are a step 10, grade 5, and you're supposed to get moved to you are grade 10, step 5, and you're going to move to grade 11. You would go to grade 11, step 5. So it's like doesn't take into consideration years in your position. It just takes your current step and moves you to that step in the new grade. And if we were to do that, the cost for 2026 is $64,986.79, of which $37,874.69 would come out of the general fund. The cost of the change for 2027 would be $153,605.14 before we would implement any type of COLA or step increases for those individuals as well. I'll let Rick answer any questions related to the 3 options, but are there any questions related to the figures that I gave you?
I think the answer probably yes, but is there an option 4, if you will, which would be that, perhaps we go with option 1 and then we consider option 2 or 3 in the regular budget process for 2027?
What I would say at this point in time, it's something we would have to take a look at and see if the budget can support something like that. Yeah, I guess those aren't the exact numbers we have in front of us today, so we'd have to take a look and see what that would look like.
And obviously, option 1 would not be retracted. It would be whether or
Correct.
not we can afford to implement 2 or 3 during the regular budget process.
Right. So the cost for that would likely be the difference between the $19,081 and $122,000 for
Right.
2027. So it'd be a little over $100,000 to implement that effective
Yeah.
for 2027. As your finance director, I would recommend option 1. I know that's probably not loved by everybody, but that's the most fiscally responsible for the city. It still provides us an opportunity to give all staff a COLA and their step increases for 2027, because not everybody's being affected by this study. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay, let's make sure any questions you have are general. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to a motion. But what do you got, Larry?
Just how many people are we talking about here?
I believe it's 23.
23 people were recommended for a grade change. how many people would be impacted in each option depends on which option you go with. Because option 2 impacts a different number of people, whereas option 1 impacts a smaller group of people. So it does depend on which option you go with as to how many people will be impacted.
So option 2, how many?
20, I think it's 26 or 27 people would be affected by option 2.
Tom?
Yeah, I just, Sabrina, on any of the options, we have the money in the general fund to cover this. That was my question.
Great-
Where's the
great
money coming from?
question. We obviously didn't budget for this. Option 1, I think we can absorb that in the general fund budget. If you were to decide on option 2 or 3, I would recommend that we come forward with a resolution to find those dollars somewhere else in the general fund or use reserves. But option 1, I wouldn't come forward with that because $5,000, I think we can absorb within the general fund.
So we don't fall too far away from our open meeting rules. I'm going to go ahead and move that we approve option 1.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Larry. Now let's go into discussion. Okay. Anyone else with questions? Jim?
When you move on a step, is it based on merit, or are we basing things on the years of service, or both? How is that generally working?
So the step increases, you are only eligible for a step increase if you have an adequate performance evaluation of 3.0 or higher. If you don't get above a 3.0 or higher, then you do not get the step increase.
If you don't get the step, but you might get the COLA, is that correct?
Correct.
I believe so. I believe so.
COLA is separate is the way that I'm reading this.
Yep.
The COLA, it has nothing to do with these options. That would
Correct.
be something we'd be discussing in the budget process.
Yeah, COLAs are never guaranteed. Those are something we have to work through in the budget process.
Yeah. Go ahead.
With that in mind, how competitive are we then with perhaps cities of other size? I mean, do we really want to move people to other cities? I mean, are we going to lose people because grades, or I'm
Yep.
just curious as to where we're at.
Sure. Nope. And you actually bring up a good point of something that I was going to bring up as well too. Like Sabrina, from my perspective, I think option 1 makes sense, and these are the reasons why. Option 1 does the recommended moves based on the compensation study that Baker Tilly has given us. But this process has also revealed the fact that we really need to do a market study. And now, while I'm not saying we start that today, because let's finish one before we start another, my recommendation would be is if option 1 were to be implemented as of August 2nd, we look at the steps in the COLAs to start 2027 as our normal process would be. And then we start looking at what that market study process would look like and start that process sooner rather than later. If you recall from our last meeting, the recommended time frame for a market study from Baker Tilly was every 4 to 5 years. The last time the city did one was in 2020. So by the time we would complete one and get it implemented, we're looking at 28 likely. So we would be well outside that range of time frame that we should be completing a market study. That market study would tell us how we compare to other municipalities of a similar size. And so that's where we would be able to make those bigger adjustments from my perspective, depending on what the results are, of course.
If we choose option 1, are there going to be individuals who will not be getting any kind of raise? I mean, just the only thing they may be eligible for is COLA?
They would not get a raise as of August 2nd of 2026, but they would be eligible for a step increase and COLA as of January 1 of 2027.
So I won't refer to this as raise. What this is based off a staff study, is aligning the staff in accordance with what the study results are or where they should be. So it's not that they're getting a raise. That has a different connotation. Now,
Correct.
the impact on their pocketbook might be the same for the individuals who benefit from this, but it's not technically a raise. That's not what's happening.
Correct.
So my concern overall on this is, again, this is an outside of the budget cycle expense. And I mean, we go through an entire budget on what we can afford for 2026 in this case, and this would be an addition. The other options 2s and 3s are substantially more, and it's outside of the budget cycle. That's why I'm more comfortable personally with going with option one. And if we want to have more discussions during the regular budget cycle on whether or not in 2027 we want to entertain going to an option 2 or 3, my view is that's the time to do it. When we look at the whole picture of the entire budget.
Right.
Is there any other discussion or questions? Okay, call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Alder not, just to clarify, did the motion include starting
Option
as of,
one,
but as of August 2nd, correct?
as of August 2nd.
I just want to clarify that that was what the motion was. So, okay.
Yeah, so I get some 5 months and continuing on, but potentially we could change it later.
Sure. Mhm.
Okay.
And the,
That brings you up to C.
yes, and that one is in regards to the appeal process. As you saw in your packet, there is a memo there that just kind of outlined, now that we've come to the point of doing any kind of implementation, typically there is an appeal process that is provided to staff or employees once there has been some kind of an implementation. Now the council has moved forward with implementing option one. That's when the appeal process would play out. Again, I've set forth there what that would look like generally, not knowing exactly which direction council was going to go this evening. Have to fine tune what that process actually looks like. In speaking with Baker Tilly, while they don't have an actual appeal process, they will accept and review anybody who wants to appeal under certain criteria because they are the ones that did the original review. No one here at the city did. So we don't have what they specifically reviewed or how they weighted certain things. So in talking with Baker Tilly, based on the cost discussion, I believe that the $5,000 will cover the cost of appeals for this particular process. I guess I'll stop there and ask if there's any questions outside of what I've either said or what's in the memo itself.
Is it not to exceed 5,000, meaning like if we have none or 1 or 2 that use this process, and one would think that they would not approach the $5,000 range, that's probably worst case in it?
Correct.
So they'd only charge us
For those that actually are.
for those requests
Yes,
and up to 5,000. Obviously, if it goes over that, you'll have to come back to council, I imagine.
correct. Yep. Mhm. But yes, you are correct. We only get charged for the ones that actually go through for an appeal.
Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Alder Lohendorf, seconded by Alder Smith. Discussion.
Can I assume that 5,000 will come out of the general fund again?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I just said.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11, adjournment.
Chair, I have a
Yes.
statement I need to make.
Huh?
I'd like to make a statement right now.
Let's do it during discussion if it has something to do with adjournment. So.
No. Oh,
Well, I mean, we can't go off agenda, but if you're just, what is you want to do?
just gonna make my announcement that this is my
Okay.
last meeting.
Okay. Is that allowed?
We'll allow it.
Okay.
I'd like to appreciate the work that staff has done for the last 5 years that I've worked with them and the members of the council and the guidance that Rick has put forward to. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but I've enjoyed my time here. And I appreciate all the support that everybody's given me. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I did have a motion to approve by Alder Lohendorf. Did I have a second? This is for adjournment.
Oh.
Yeah, I second.
You second it,
Yeah.
Tom? Okay. Any discussion on adjournment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Time is 7:29. We are adjourned.